Okay, good morning and welcome to Daily Double. We're starting the second parak of Challah, parak Beis, Mishnayos Aleph and Beis. Mishnah Aleph says, Peros chutz la'aretz, shnitzu la'aretz. Peros doesn't mean fruits because, apples are not chayv and challah. We're talking about grains, wheat or barley, or any of the five species of grain that are brought into from chutz la'aretz. It's brought in from Ukraine, the big exporter of wheat. You come to Eretz Yisrael, and then you process the wheat, and you obviously made the dough in Eretz Yisrael. Chayav mechal is chayav and challah. We learn it out from pasuk. Aretz asher maybe as kam shama, right? The Rav Bartanur says shama tam chayavim bein peros aretz bein peros chutz la'aretz. It doesn't matter whether it grew in Eretz Yisrael chutz la'aretz. It matters where it became needed. I'll explain this more in Yom Yatsu mikan l'sham. Let's say it grew, the grain grew in Eretz Yisrael and it went to chutz la'aretz. It says no. It's still chayav and challah because it was grown. The grain was grown in Eretz Yisrael. Rabbi Kiva poter. Rabbi Kiva says, no, it's poter. Shama, right? It says it's a miyut. Also, it has to be processed. It has to be rolled into. It has to be kneaded in Eretz Yisrael because when you're kneaded, that's when it's chayav and challah. So therefore, it's all. It depends. When it's shas lisha, right? Was the lisha done in Eretz Yisrael or not? And that's whether it's chayav and challah. Beis offer chutz la'aretz, shuvah b'svina la'aretz. A similar halacha. Let's say you have dirt that came from chutz la'aretz, from Jordan or something like that, came in a boat across the Jordan River, across the Yarden. Chayavas ma'ishos of a shvius now, and something grew from this grain, from this dirt that was brought from. So any you planted seeds in it, it's chayav and ma'ishos and shvius, like it was going to Eretz Yisrael. Amar Yehuda emasab bisman she'asvina gosheshes. Now, really, what we're talking about here is where you planted it on the boat on the way to Eretz Yisrael. So when it lands on the shores of Eretz Yisrael, on the west bank of the Jordan, so therefore you planted it in the boat in grain, which has a hole in the boat, and you filled the hole with grain, with dirt of chutz la'aretz. So now technically it grew on the west bank in the property of Israel. So therefore, it's chayav in shumas semaitros. Isa and shvi. Isa shinilosha made payros. Here's a new halacha about challah. If a dough was kneaded with fruit juices, chayav is bechallah. Tanakama holds us chayav in challah. V'nechel is biyadayim esoavos. However, since it's not one of the zayin mashkim, so therefore it's not machshir at the gabel tumah. So even though your hands are tameh, you're not going to make the bread tameh by eating it. So therefore, you could eat it even with dirty hands, even when your hands are tameh. However, it would be chayav in challah. Why is chayav in challah? The basic reason is because even if it's a bread was made with fruit juice, a mazonos bread, right? They serve on the plane sometimes. You don't have to wash. It's still an honorable bread, and therefore it's chayav in challah because you could use, sometimes they have breads and kneaded with milk, not just water. Well, that wouldn't be what the zayin mashkin, but the same idea. I think in French they call challah. They call it. Forgot the name of the B, something like that. Anyway, whatever it is, they have fancy bread. It looks like challah. They have in French. It's fancy bread. It's made with milk as opposed to water. Still, it's considered honorable, and you would honor a meal with it. So therefore, it's chayav and challah. We'll discuss Mishnah Aleph thing in Mitzion and talk about exactly why, if it's needed in Eretz Yisrael, that's where the chiyuv of challah stems from. Hope you enjoyed today's share. See you in Mitzion coming up next.